Today, a teenager is stabbed in the chest.
Patient has isolated wound to the cardiac box anteriorly over.
A near-fatal motorbike crash.
I basically went straight up in the air about 20 to 25 feet.
And man down, Steve treats a war hero.
And the Chinese opened up with a heavy machine gun, and the round bounced off a rock, and a piece of it hit me in the knee.
Hello, can I have an amber backup, please?
The rapid response vehicles were set up because we can get through traffic quicker. Every second counts when somebody's critically ill, and we can get there and stabilise the patient before the ambulance gets there. I used to have my own business. I did hair and beauty, and I also worked for Richard Branson on Virgin Atlantic. I was an in-flight beauty therapist for 6 years. It's not much different. They still deal with the public, still have interesting days, but unfortunately not going to the exotic locations that I used to. We're going on the way to Kidderminster, and it's a motorcyclist versus a car. All the information we have at the moment is the car driver is very shaken and the motorcyclist seems badly injured. So obviously with the nice weather, a lot of motorcyclists are about, especially on this stretch of road. It tends to go out into the country a little bit more. It's a fast road and it's obviously very straight, so we do have quite a few. Hi there. Who was the driver of the vehicle? Were you on your own? Are you okay? Yep.
A consultant paramedic and a passing nurse are already on scene.
The worst thing to see is somebody on the floor and they haven't moved, because most people will get themselves up. But if you see a motorcyclist lying on the ground, you know, you fear the worst. Is there any other? So no.
No pain in your legs. Can you wiggle your toes for me?
Lovely. Yeah.
No, Steve trapped again.
Oh,
Great, careful.
sorry, sweetheart.
Okay. Whereabouts is it hurt? Is it below your elbow or above?
On my elbow.
Just on your elbow.
Itself.
All right.
We're going to have to cut your jacket, OK?
Can I move this on for you? I'll just put some little sticky dots on them. We checked his full vital signs to make sure there was no other injury, because it can be distracting because you're in pain, but other things more serious are going on. Neck, back-wise, spinal injuries. We're looking, obviously, for life-threatening injuries, for bleeds.
The biker was on his way to work when the accident happened.
As I came round the corner, I saw a car. It was indicating to turn, so I started to slow down a little bit. And as I got to the first entrance of the pub, he decided to go. From what I've been told, when I impacted, I basically went straight up in the air about 20 to 25 feet. And then I came crashing down head first straight into the tarmac. I don't remember the impact. I remember looking up and seeing bluey grey sky. The next thing I remember is waking up to the paramedics working on me.
Do you remember everything, Simon, everything that happened?
Not exactly, no.
Not exactly. Still no pain anywhere else?
Just my left arm.
Just your left arm, still your left arm, all right. Can you feel my finger?
Yeah, can I move it?
We're not going to move your arm.
I think your arm is going to hurt if you move it. When we go into a high-impact job, whether it be a motorcyclist or car, we do expect broken bones, and people can bleed and lose excessive amount of blood. So we are very aware that we do need to make sure that this isn't going to cause catastrophic hemorrhage for the patient. Sorry, sweet, I'm just going to take this off.
Ever so safe now. You know what they're doing everywhere.
I'm going to try and cut that. Yeah. Seems to be.
Just a little bit of blood on you. Coming from your jacket. It's going to ascertain where that's from. Put in your jacket. You're saying he's got the right kit on, chaps.
Yeah.
Yeah, we were just saying that as we were coming.
I do remember hearing the paramedics talking. The things that I could hear didn't sound good. I was concerned about internal bleeding. Although I've got my bike gear on, there is the nickname of bike gear as the body bag. To hear the air ambulance in the sky, when I heard that, I was quite scared for how bad injured I was. I thought at first it was just my arm and just cuts and bruises, but to hear the air ambulance, it made me think that I'd had a lucky escape.
All right, sweetheart. OK. Did you think you lost consciousness at all?
I don't know, I don't actually know what happened there.
You don't know what's happened?
Don't worry.
The paramedics decide to take Simon to hospital by road ambulance.
Hi there. Just to get the stretcher and we'll get the thing and everything, yeah? That's great.
My arm is really hurting.
Okay.
All right, Steve.
I'm going to give you some oxygen, that will help.
It is going to be a bit painful because we've got to put this splint on your arm, Simon.
Add the morphine, keep breathing that gas.
Just deep breaths.
Keep breathing, never I can't hear it working. I need to hear that sound. That's it.
It's going to get tight in your arm now.
Good man.
Any broken bones that we find, we want to immobilise them. It will help with the flow of oxygen, the flow of blood. Unfortunately, he's going to hurt.
Just pull slightly.
Sorry, sweetheart, sorry.
Deep breaths.
Try and do it again.
Can we reevaluate SAT?
Yeah.
Just have another...
With Simon, there was a high probability that he might have spinal injury, so we have to immobilise him, and then we use head blocks and try to limited movement for him so there's no more damage if there was any damage to his spinal cord.
What we're going to do is come over just very slightly. We're only going to go about 5-10 degrees this way.
It'll hurt for a couple of seconds.
Big deep breaths, and again. Okay, and we'll do exactly the same on the other side. So just remember to go in between the jacket again. Okay, ready?
Yeah.
Steady, roll.
Well done, Simon, well done, well done, well done.
At hospital, Simon will be given a full body scan.
We're just going to lift you now, Simon, so if you just pop your arm there, that'll be great.
Okay, ready? Ready, steady, lift. There we go. I'll just
I've been in the ambulance service about 18 months now. Started off in training school, came out on the road fresh, and then picked up Tracy after about 5 months of being on the road.
I became his surrogate work mum.
Yeah.
Look after him.
Yeah, she does look after me. She'll never admit it, but I do think she's one of the best paras at Dudley Ambulance Station, by far. Just the way she's calm on jobs, that's definitely rubbed off on me.
Dan's picked things up really quickly, so I've taught him well.
She has taught me well, yeah. We're going to a female who's fallen and injured her back. We don't know where she's fallen. She just pressed a lifeline button, which dispatches us, so we'll see what we find when we get there. Presume it's this one with the lights on. I'm Dan, this is Tracy.
Hello, Freda.
Hello. Can you get me up?
We'll get you up. Have you hurt anywhere else apart from your head?
No.
And she was just like that when you got here, was she?
We've got it a minute before you.
The phone went about 1:30, and it was the pendant people saying that you need to get up to your mum's straight away because she's had a fall.
When I found her literally wedged up the door with all like blood up the back of the door and all sort of down her face. I know they say edge injuries bleed a lot, but I've never seen so much blood.
Freda, can you bend this leg up for me?
Bend up.
And you've got no pain bending your legs?
I've got no pain.
All right, let's get you...
No. I've got blood on my head.
All right. Just nice and
OK.
Where's hurting, Freda?
Let's have a look at the back of your head, Don. Has she got COPD or asthma or...?
Can you put me in a chair?
2 seconds, Donnie. We need to have a look at the back of your head. Pop that arm in there for me.
When she fell, Freda hit her head on the cat flap.
Can you remember what happened? Can you remember what you were doing?
I was going to the toilet.
Did you feel dizzy or anything? Or you tripped over something?
No, I just tumbled.
You tumbled, so you overbalanced. All right.
Done quite a good job of a cut on her head, hasn't
Yeah.
she? She just wanted to get up off the floor. I think the bleeding had slowed down a bit, but it had sort of got all in her hair and stuff and on her face, and it was quite a mess.
We're just going to put this on for a second, and then we'll get you up and we'll get you cleaned up nicely, all right?
Have you hurt your back?
No,
Not at all?
no.
Okay.
I've only hurt my head.
All right.
We go to falls all day, every day. Every shift you can almost guarantee that we'll go to somebody that's fallen over. When the older patient gets out of bed to get to the toilet in the night or first thing in the morning, and they're still all stiff from their night's sleep, and they just don't have the mobility like they used to have, so they end up on the floor. All right, Freda, we're going to get you up, all right?
Yes.
We'll go nice and slowly.
Ready?
OK, 1, 2 and 3. That's it. How are you standing up? Do you feel dizzy at all? Do you feel dizzy at all?
No.
No? Should we get your frame and let's see how you get into the lounge?
All right.
Oh, lying. I'm a bloody nuisance.
No, you're not. Mum is a lovable lady. She is very independent.
Which chair is your chair? Is this your chair here?
To say Mum and Dad did everything together, and Mum's been without Dad now for 21 years. She did fantastic, didn't she?
Fantastic, yeah.
She used to do all around decorating in the house as well. Past couple of years, I was gone down a little bit, hasn't she? So we've done that for her.
Yeah.
What we're going to do is we're going to tidy your head up, all right? I think you've got a bit of a cut on there, so we're going to clean it up a little bit and get it dressed properly. That's OK. She's got quite a nasty laceration on there. You know, it's like a horseshoe shape.
She must have caught it on the edge of that because it's quite a good indentation. You might need to wash your hair in the morning.
Well, yeah, just a constable.
Oh, that's all right then. That's all right.
Let's see if you can put this on without it falling off.
They normally do fall off.
Is this World War III?
I think so.
Looks like it in your kitchen.
Freda's obviously had a mechanical fall in the kitchen. She's got quite a nasty laceration to the back of her head. So we've dressed it, we're going to do some obs on her, make sure there's no reason why she fell. And she's going to need to go up to A&E to get some stitches. It looks a bit too deep to be glued.
Later, feisty Freda puts her foot down.
Then you're going to need to go to hospital, OK?
I don't. I'm not going.
In the West Midlands, emergency doctors work alongside paramedics.
Being a doctor, it just gives me the opportunity to help people who are sometimes having the worst day of their life, and it's nice to be able to come in and hopefully make a positive difference to them. MERIT stands for Medical Emergency Response Incident Team. It's a team of 2 consisting of a senior doctor from an emergency medicine background or an anaesthetic background, teamed together with a critical care paramedic. Our remit is to respond to major trauma. So major trauma could be lorry versus car, road traffic accident on the motorway, or knife attack, machete attacks, gunshot wounds. Basically anything that's causing someone to have a severe injury is more likely than not we'll be called to go and respond to it.
Right, I've done this gentleman with a left-sided wound, approximately half an inch in width according to the crew. He's got rests of 42, heart rate of 120, oxygen saturations are only saying 78 at the moment. However, his fingers are cold and we do have 100% O2 going at the moment. We're struggling to get a blood pressure, however, he does have a good strong radial pulse.
9-8, we're less than 5 minutes away. The update sounds like this chap is potentially quite sick. At the moment his saturations aren't doing too well. He's struggling with his breathing. Sounds like his blood pressure's a little bit low. So we're a couple of minutes out. As soon as we get there, we'll jump on the back and then escort the patient in. Here we go.
The MERIT team get ready to approach the victim.
Yeah, it's like deja vu.
We thought we'd lost the cranial thing, but I think we've saved.
Oh, very good.
He's very cold, clammy. We're still struggling to get a blood pressure. He did have a good ride.
Okay.
So we've got the first lot of fluids going in. He's had full TXA and they've confirmed lower left.
All right, guys, can we leave scene, please? QE, please. Once we arrived at the scene, it became very obvious that this patient was not well. This patient was very pale, clammy, their blood pressure was very low. They were demonstrating lots of signs that they had sustained a potentially life-threatening injury. This is why we decided not to spend very long on scene and start heading towards a major trauma centre to get this patient into the most sort of definitive level of care that they can get. Line 8, with the gentleman, we're leaving scene now, ETA approximately 7 minutes. Patient has isolated wound to the cardiac box anteriorly over. Patient has a weak thready radial pulse. Heart rate is in the 80s. Initiate massive transfusion protocol, code red over.
Merritt carries specialist equipment to provide life-saving treatment at the scene.
One of the things we were able to do was to use ultrasound to have a look inside his chest. When we did this, I was able to see that there was some fluid around the heart. So when the knife had gone in, it looks like it damaged the heart itself, causing the heart to bleed into the sac that contains the heart. Can we give him some IV paracetamol? If the bleeding gets too much, this can cause a tamponade effect, where the sac expands to a certain amount, and then can't expand anymore, and then it crushes the heart. There was every possibility this patient could have died in the back of the ambulance. How many times were you stabbed?
We can only find one on his chest.
Just once? Okay. Generally, I think over the past few years, there's been a slow increase in the number of stabbings being reported and that we're responding to. So I'd say it's getting worse.
I'm going to roll you to the right, all right?
We're going to roll you, mate. It's quite sweaty, isn't it? Yeah, is there anything there? Where's that coming from? No? Okay, rolling back. All right, mate, we're just making sure you're not being stabbed anywhere else. You can pass me a 20 miles range.
Good man. What's your name, mate? Tell us your name.
I've only got 5 minutes off, but that should be enough.
Thanks to Merritt, the stab victim has made it to hospital alive.
They've started to infuse blood into him, and they're on the phone to theatre, getting the emergency theatre open to take him up there and to open his chest and kind of fix his heart for him. The next couple of hours are going to be critical for him. I guess a lot of it depends on what happens when they open his chest and have a look at his heart. And, you know, I mean, now that he's in hospital with the specialists, you know, he's got the best chance of survival now, so hopefully it'll be a good outcome for him.
I don't think you could ever get bored doing this job. I always say it's like a tin of mucky soup. You never know what you're going to get.
Tonight, Kath is on shift with her daughter, Rachel Young.
It is nice to work with mother and daughter, yeah, but you have to be professional at all times. And when we're in a house, I'm Kath, she's Rachel. It doesn't always come in conversation that we're mother and daughter, but if the time's right and it comes up, it's said.
I think I might have to be on my best behaviour, watch what I do, watch what I say. At the end of the day, she's still my mum, so I do have to remember that sometimes.
We've got a boy that's short of breath, don't know what reason yet, so I'm sure we'll soon find out. Hello?
Yeah, it's got this tightness in his chest. He's been having difficulty breathing.
Right.
I gave him some Benylin, cough Benylin earlier on today, but he just seems to have got worse.
OK. Are you not asthmatic? No?
No.
I'm Kath, this is Rachel. Hello. I'm just going to have a little listen to your chest, all right, my love? And it feels tight.
Yeah.
You've got no pain?
I've got some up there.
A little bit there. OK, I'm just going to have a little listen to your chest now. Nice big deep breaths in. In again. Andrew, can you just sit forward for me? That's it. Have a bit of a cough. OK, now just steady deep breaths.
It's not the first time Andrew has had difficulty breathing.
When Andrew has an attack, it tends to be wheezing. He complains of pains in his chest, tightness. Andrew just does say that he can't get any air into his lungs.
What's his stats?
Fine, 98%.
Right, okay. Temperature is?
36.3.
Okay.
Normally, if he's a bit breathless or feeling unwell, he'll just go and have a lie down, and then he'll recover and he'll be fine. But with this one, it was just getting worse. There was no improvement in his breathing.
On that side, when you're breathing out, you've got a little bit of a wheeze, and that's what's probably causing you to feel breathless. Do you feel anxious at the moment?
Well, I'm stressed and...
Well, while we're doing some more observations, you just take a nice deep breath, OK? My first priority with people who are having difficulty in breathing is to try and ascertain what the problem is, whether it is medical or whether it is just anxiety. And when I say just anxiety, it can cause a big problem. When somebody gets very, very anxious, they can start to hyperventilate. That's breathing in too short and rapidly, and we're taking too much oxygen into our body, and it can cause all sorts of problems. What relation are you?
His mother.
You're his mum. He's quite anxious at the moment. His oxygen levels are fine, all right? There's no problem there. His chest is fairly clear, but when he breathes out, just slightly, there's just a tiny little expiratory wheeze.
Wheezing can indicate a chest infection or asthma.
We're just going to give him a nebuliser, which is a drug called salbutamol, OK? It just opens the airways, might be able to calm him down a bit and make him breathe a little bit better.
Andrew, have you had a nebuliser before? One of these?
I think so, yeah.
OK.
Yeah.
So a little bit, a little mask on your face. You'll feel some like steam coming through. All I need you to do is just lean back for me, relax, nice deep breaths, OK? Let's pop this on your head first of all.
Breathing problems are often caused by anxiety.
Does he have any real major anxiety attacks?
Well, me and his dad got divorced 2 years ago and he's...
Do you think it's that? Because you said I was different after that.
You were quieter.
Andrew's anxiety attack started when he was 7 years old. Unfortunately, me and his father went through a nasty divorce, and it really had an effect on him, and he is currently being seen by a psychiatrist and a counsellor in Wolverhampton here at the moment.
Settling a little bit more. OK. It'll just take about 5 minutes to go through.
Yeah.
Andrew spends a lot of time behind closed doors. He did apply, register to go to college, but then he couldn't face the thought of having contact with other people. So that didn't happen, unfortunately. He does want to work. He just can't at the moment because of his health.
Andrew, can you stand up for me?
Yeah.
Have a really good listen now. While you're standing, we're going to do your blood pressure again. Have another cough for me. At the moment, how's he looking to you as his mum?
His colour's better.
Yes.
And he's not wheezing.
Yeah. He's still looking slightly agitated, but with his history, this can be normal for him, yeah? It's your choice, however. I don't think he needs an A&E admittance.
With his breathing stabilised, Andrew can now be discharged to his GP.
Listen, if you feel you need us, you call us back. It might not be us, but there'll always be somebody there for you, all right?
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah?
No worries, darling.
Andrew, take care, all right? Take care.
Nice to meet you, sweetheart.
Nice to meet you.
All right, darling.
OK. We've nebulised him, and he seems to have settled down quite well now. He's still anxious, but Mum has actually said that this is normal for him, so we're quite happy at the moment to leave him where he is. Tomorrow, if he still doesn't feel very well, is to go up to the local walking centre, which is based within the local hospital.
Before I became a paramedic, I used to work for Russell's Hall Hospital. I worked in the A&E department, As a receptionist. I used to see the work that the paramedics used to do, so it was something that I wanted to do. I love the elderly patients that we deal with. They're my favourite sort of patients. I'll go to those all day long. They've always got stories and they never want to bother you. They're really great for your help, and sometimes they're the ones that need it most and they think that they don't deserve an ambulance.
Freda, that's not too tight on your head, is it?
No.
Okay.
No.
Tracy and Dan are treating an 85-year-old who's had a nasty fall.
Is this World War III?
I think so.
Looks like it in your kitchen. We don't know whether she's tripped over something.
Oh, passed out.
Or whether she's had a dizzy spell, so we need to just do a few checks just to make sure that it's just a fall. Sats 98, blood pressure 127/58, pulse is 84. Can you feel me touching your arms?
Yes.
OK, there's no pins and needles in any of your arms? No strange sensations?
No.
And your legs, you can feel me touching your legs?
No trouble with them at the moment.
So no pins and needles or anything like that? Move all your limbs? All the vital signs were all fine, weren't they? So, you know, there was no other concern. But she'd sustained quite a full thickness wound, hadn't she? It had almost gone through to the bone. She's definitely a hospital candidate.
You're going to need to go to hospital, OK?
I don't. I'm not going.
Freda, you've got a nasty cut on the back of your head, OK? You can't be left here like with a cut like that, OK? So we're going to have to pop you up to A&E.
I've just come out of the hospital.
What, with the chest infection?
Yes.
I know. I know. But it definitely needs looking at, OK? All right?
Can I have a cup of tea?
Of course you can, darling. Of course you can.
I don't think Mum realised how serious her head injury was.
No.
When the paramedic said, Freda, I'm sorry, you've got to go into hospital, I don't think she wanted the fuss. She just wanted to plod on in a little world in her own house, didn't she?
Yeah. Well, unfortunately, she wasn't well enough to, was she?
No.
They convinced her to go, which was the right thing.
Yeah.
Right, there you go. Are you warm enough now or not?
Oh, I'll tell me when you start.
I'll put the fire on.
All right.
Here we are. Costa del Pensness.
At hospital, Freda is given 7 stitches.
After that, they gave her a cup of tea and some biscuits, and then we were let to go home.
Unfortunately, 2 weeks later, Elaine had to call the ambulance again.
She's saying she got pains in her side, so we sent for the paramedics again. They listened to her chest and said that I think she's got fluid on the right lung. She was blue lighted in and she was taken into resus.
Freda was diagnosed with pneumonia and given intravenous antibiotics.
Over that weekend, got worse, didn't she?
She just got worse, yeah.
About 12 o'clock midnight, we had a phone call and they said, no need to come up, but just to let you know, Mum's breathing's changed. OK, thank you. Went off back to sleep. 1:45, I think it was, the nurse said, you are coming up now. We got there about 2 o'clock, sat with her and past 2, 6:30.
Already weak from lung cancer, Freda's body couldn't recover. She died that evening with her family around her.
I will remember my mum as a very loving, funny human being. She was lovely, wasn't she?
Yeah, really.
Well, I loved her. She's in a better place now.
Yeah.
Not in pain.
So obviously with the nice weather, a lot of motorcyclists are about, so we do get quite a few, especially on this stretch of road. It tends to go out into the country a little bit more.
Simon Halfpenny is recovering from a devastating motorbike accident.
From what I've been told, when I impacted, I basically went straight up in the air, about 20 to 25 feet, and then I came crashing down head first, straight into the tarmac.
His traumatic experience has had unexpected consequences.
Prior to the accident, me and my wife were going through a separation. The day of the accident, it made me realise, and I remember being lay on the road just asking for my wife.
I heard that he'd been in a full bike accident and he was going for a full body scan. I was just like thinking, I need to get to the hospital, I need to get to him. When I finally got there, I just couldn't believe the sight I saw. I'll never get that image out of my head where he was covered in blood, his mouth was just... You couldn't see his teeth for blood. When
my wife turned up, she just walks in, takes my hand and gives me a cuddle and says, "You're going to be OK." And it was the words I needed to hear.
Scans revealed no internal bleeding or spinal damage, but Simon has shattered his elbow in 5 places. He believes he's lucky to be alive.
Looking at my bike gear, it looks like I've put my left arm out against my forehead, which saved my life. Although I've broken my elbow, if I hadn't have put my arm up, then potentially I could have bent my head back and snapped my neck.
Oh, sorry, sweetheart.
OK. Whereabouts does it hurt?
My arm is really, really hurting.
OK.
Just seeing it, seeing all that blood.
I'm going to give you some oxygen, that will help.
I knew it was bad. Just seeing it like that is... Oh, my God.
Sorry, sweetheart. Sorry.
Deep breath.
The accident has strengthened their friendship.
Choo-choo!
You know, we're going to try and make it work for our daughter and for ourselves because it's obvious that there's still a lot of feelings there.
It has brought us closer, put things into perspective of what's important, and hopefully see if we can sort things out.
For Simon, biking has always been his passion. But after leaving hospital, he went to see his bike.
When I got there, the only thing that was recognisable of it was really the back. But when you look at the front, it's just totally mangled. The front forks were in pieces, the front wheels buckled. It looked like it had almost gone through a crusher.
Simon and Rachel have a 3-year-old daughter, Mary Ann.
Obviously, I won't be getting on another motorbike again because of Mary. I don't want to risk the next time something happens to not survive it and then leave Mary without a dad.
We've got an ageing population, life expectancy has increased, but hand in hand with that, people do have long-term chronic conditions. You get to sort of your 50s, 60s and 70s, people are suffering with high blood pressure, cholesterol, diabetes, and their life expectancy is increased, but with that, they're being treated for chronic conditions for longer. The profession paramedic is all about helping people. When the elderly call for us, it appears that they're sort of quite brave-faced sometimes. They seem to shrug off the sort of problem that they have at that time and their long-term conditions. They almost treat us as or treat themselves as being a hindrance to us, which certainly isn't the case. We're on the way to a 999 call to a gentleman he's come from Careline, so I'm guessing he's pressed his pendant alarm. He looks like he's fallen on the floor and he's got a back injury. Chances are he's just sort of tumbled at home, but particularly in the elderly, there's a chance of sort of like fractures, which is greater than it would be in a healthier, younger, fitter person. 52.
5152, go ahead, Van.
Yeah, 52, thanks. Been attendance at this address. There's a key safe box to gain access. So have you got a number for it, please?
I'll ring Careline, try and find it.
Thanks, standing by. With his fall, he's probably on the floor and he can't get to the door to answer it to us. So, with him pressing his Careline pendant, they normally hold an access number for us so we can access the key box so we can let ourselves in. Thanks, mate. Hello? Ambulance? Hello there, young man. Right, what's your name, mate? What's your name?
Leonard.
Leonard, hello. Is it Len? Do you like to be called Len?
Len.
Len, hello Len, what's happened to you?
I'm fallen down and I can't get up. I've got a dicky leg
Oh.
and it won't support my weight.
Okay, where have you fallen from, Len?
Just off the chair.
Off the chair. Have you injured yourself at all?
No.
No, have you got any pains anywhere?
No.
All right, what I'm going to do, if it's okay, I'll just check you over quickly, top to bottom, just to make sure you've not hurt yourself.
Fair enough.
Okay, mate. All right, anything on your head at all?
No.
Any pain down your neck or your back?
No.
All right, take a deep breath in. All right, can you lift your arms up for me? Okay. Any pain in your hips at all?
No.
All right, can you pop your legs flat on the floor?
Very awkward.
All right, can you move your legs for me? Can you bend them up? Okay, all right. Let's just have a feel of your wrist.
I've got COPD and a dicky heart.
All right. How did you just slip? Is that the reason you ended up on the floor? Okay. All right then, Len, if you bring your arms in against your body. Okay, on 3. 1, 2, 3. Okay. And we're up. Do you want to have a sit on the edge of the bed first? It's a bit nearer, isn't it? Okay. How's that feel? Better?
All right.
All right, mate. Or do you need a hand up? That's it, good lad.
Oh,
All right then.
thank God for that.
No problem.
Oh.
Can we do a few observations? Check your blood pressure and whatnot? All right
No
then.
problem.
Okay, mate. Following Len's fall, we've got to rule out sort of any, with Len's age, rule out any sort of other injuries and sort of medical conditions that maybe could have caused these fall. So we're just going to do through a routine sort of sequence of checks now and just make sure that everything's as it should be. And all being well, he's going to stay here. I don't think he's going to have to get to hospital. Okay, mate. They're just going tight on your arm, okay? Do you need anybody contacted?
Not really.
Not really.
She's been once tonight and fed me.
Is this daughter, is it?
Daughter-in-law.
Daughter-in-law. Let's pop these on your wrists and your ankles. Right then, Len, this machine picks up any big movements, so I just want you to just relax for me, okay? That's okay. Everything's okay. We've done a full set of observations. Everything is normal, normal for him. His ECG, his blood pressure, his oxygen levels, everything's good. So I think it's going to be a case now. We're just making sure he's happy here at home. All right, Len?
Gone grumble for 86.
It turns out Len's fall was down to a war injury.
I got wounded in the army in Korea, in that leg, that knee, and I won't bear any weight.
Yeah. What? How did you get injured in Korea? What happened?
I was a clerk, believe it or not, and the brigade major came to me and said, "Corporal, can you read a map?"
Right.
And I said, "Yes, sir." He says, "Right, take these 2 trucks to 1st RAR and 2nd RAR."
Yeah.
Which is Royal Australian Regiment.
Yeah, yeah.
Which was up north, where the nastiness was.
Right.
And I dropped the one off at 1st RAR and was going across country to 2nd RAR
Yeah.
when the Chinese opened up with a heavy machine gun. And they killed the driver.
Yeah.
And the round bounced off a rock and a piece of it hit me in the knee.
Piece of the rock or piece of the round?
Piece of the round.
Oh, right.
And then I drove the wagon myself up to 2nd RAR, even with a bad leg.
Were the Aussies grateful that you got the vehicle there?
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
ammunition.
Did they know the trauma you'd gone through to get it there?
I didn't tell them, did I?
Kept that to yourself?
Well, I told them about the poor driver being killed
Yeah.
and falling out the wagon.
Yeah, of course. I think you want a cup of tea, don't you?
I'd love one.
How'd you take it?
3 sugars, but not a full cup.
3 sugars, but not a full cup.
Yeah.
I dread to think how much sugar you'd have in a full cup then.
Well, I've got a sweet tooth.
Let me get the kettle on then. Imperative part of being a paramedic, how to make a good cup of tea. Our job's not always about sort of like patching up sort of like injured and, you know, really unwell people. It's quite nice having a chat to the senior sort of generation because obviously they've got lots of life experiences and, you know, I think he's quite enjoyed telling us the tale. You know, obviously we've enjoyed listening, so it's quite nice to come out and have a chat to somebody and, you know, they're okay. Here you go, Len, tea's up. sweet, 3 sugars. There's probably a bit more than half a cup there, but you can leave what you don't want. Is that okay?
Yes, no problem.
Okay then, mate. All right, Len, lovely to meet you. All right, I'm glad you're okay, mate. Okay.
That's a Freda handshake.
You enjoy your cup of tea, all right?
Yes.
Okay, good night to you. We'll lock up, okay, as we leave. Bye-bye.
Goodbye.
That's quite a nice story, really. You know, he's sort of sustained an injury, and that's how we've come to meet him tonight. You know, so obviously he survived the injury, but you know, that's how we've crossed paths tonight. You know, an injury sustained in the Korean War.
A month after Steve's visit, Len fell again and was admitted to hospital. He contracted pneumonia and unfortunately died 3 weeks later.